animals and creatures of all kinds, of the land, the air and the seas and other waters are permitted for you as food without distinction, except those which are harmful or poisonous to you as nourishment, and if you are on a journey, then the same regulations apply, namely that you may use for your provision food all animals and other creatures that you can slay hunt, in the same way as all animals and other creatures that you have at your home and for your purchase income, and for your provision food, whether they be poultry of any kind, cattle of any kind, horses or pigs, sheep and the goats, dogs and cats or whatever else serves as your food. However, you shall not prepare your food simply from the flesh of animals and other creatures, but also from fruits and vegetables as well as herbs and grain cereals, so that you have provision nourishment, in reasonableness balanced, and so your body and your slings, viscera and intestines, are kept undamaged healthy, through a good maturation digestion. And the primal wellspring of all wisdom creation, created its laws and recommendations for all firmaments universe, and earth's worlds planets, for all animals and other creatures, for all people of your kind humankind, and for all reality existence, and all this had been taught to you through the teaching of the prophets, so that you may be knowing conscious, in all things, and pay heed to the primal wellspring of all wisdom creation, and its laws and recommendations. But think, be aware, that the prophets are only your teachers and warners, and the proclaimers of the message of the teaching of truth, which they make evident to you, so that you may learn from it and may undergo a change in yourselves for the better. But no, the true prophets are strict teachers and warners, but they are benevolent and forgiving, therefore you never need to fear evil from them, and simply through their kind-heartedness, their teaching and their warning and forgiveness, you shall recognize, see, that bad and good are not the same, they are different, even if the quantity amount of the bad astonishes you. Therefore learn from the true prophets and become understanding ones, so that it shall be well with you. Do not ask the true prophets for things which you cannot understand, because if they were revealed, explained, to you, then they would cast you into confusion, although nevertheless, many things are revealed, disclosed to you when you ask a true prophet. If there is one present with you, however, he will only reveal those things to you which you can understand without you being cast into confusion. Truly, it is not given to you to take more knowledge than your sagacious intellect can accept. Truly, already many before you have asked for more knowledge than they could accept with their sagacious intellect, but then they failed in their knowledge of the truth and became confused in their inner world consciousness, because they did not consider the affliction danger that is concealed in excessive knowledge which cannot be accepted. The teaching of truth, the teaching of spirit, the teaching of life from the truth of the laws and recommendations of creation does not contain any lie or any slander or calumny, nor does it contain anything that would be non-rightful and of inequity, unfairness, or non-righteousness, consciencelessness, or non-virtuous. Many amongst you who, however, fabulate, invent lies against the truth, you do not make any use of the power of your insight discernment, because you have fallen prey to the dull path of idleness, laziness, and of unwillingness against the truth. Truly, it is wrong of you to think that what you find received handed down from your forefathers and foremothers, ancestors, forebears, is sufficient and rightful, because what has been revealed to them of the teaching of truth, the teaching of spirit, the teaching of life was defiled, trodden underfoot by them, so they did not have any knowledge, and were not led. Therefore you only find received handed down from the mental edge non-virtues and non-righteousness, consciencelessness, as well as delusional teachings of false prophets and falsified writings of the scribes and priests of gods and tin gods. Therefore it is recommended to you that you do not follow the old sources, books, writings that are retained for you as guidelines, traditions. Rather search for the truth yourselves, so that you may find it and do not fall into confusion and do not harm yourselves. And truly, If you are looking for the truth, then you will find it in the truth of the laws and recommendations of the primal power of all creation, which is given to you through the teaching of the prophets, which reveals all those things to you which are of great relevance importance for you, so that you may understand, follow and conduct care for them. Learn and do everything the same as the true prophets, as they all return to the teaching of truth, the teaching of spirit, the teaching of life at a young age in their childhood, and strengthen themselves in their inner world consciousness, with kind-heartedness and love, and with a nature of deference as well as of wisdom, and do the same as them who learn from the cradle onwards, and talk to people of your kind, human beings, and teach the writing of wisdom at a young age, and at an age of having grown out of youth adulthood, and do the same as them, the true prophets, so that you may learn the truth and carry it further to people of your kind, fellow human beings, and do it like in the allegory comparison of a figure that you create out of clay and remains lifeless until you breathe life into it, because the unknowing ones in the truth are the same as a lifeless figure made of clay, which only awakes to true life when it is struck by conscious of the truth. Do not allow yourselves to be deceived by false prophets and false teachings, which are of such a nature that their falsehood, deviousness, is not evident, but only becomes obvious, recognizable, through sagacious intellect, and do not allow yourselves to be deceived by wondrous signs from false prophets, because their signs, apparent evidence, are only a delusion and acts of trickery, legerdemain tricks, in order to deceive you and to make you unfree in bondage through their false teachings. And if false prophets awaken the dead, then they are deceiving and lying that the dead are dead, although they are only unaware of themselves, unconscious. Therefore the false prophets do not do the same as the true prophets, who teach that they only awaken ones who are lying in torpor, apparent death, back to wakeful life, because truly once a person of your kind, human being, has entered into death, died, then there can no longer be any return to life. Therefore, the false prophets and all who do the same are deceiving you with false miracles, absurdities, and magic, which is only acts of trickery, legerdemain tricks, and has no might, as is also the case with the magicians, mages, practitioners of legerdemain, sorcerers, practitioners of suggestive spells and acts, themselves with who only practice deceptive acts. The false prophets teach lies and claim that they have been given great knowledge, and that only they are the ones who have knowledge of hidden things, but this is in no way the truth, because they were as unknowing as all the unknowing ones. However, they are able to beat you into servitude, bondage, by lying and deception, so that you also fall prey to their lies and slanders, calumnies, as well as to their false words and teaching, because they can give false signs, magic tricks, by means of magic, legerdemain, and other deceptive acts, which you accept as the truth, although they are only lies and deception. And do not believe them when they lie, saying that they are the envoys of a god or tin god, or their sons or daughters, born by mothers of people of your kind, human beings. Because whatever is born to people of your kind, human beings, on earth is also created by people of your kind, human beings of earth, or by people of your kind from the firmaments, people from the universe. And truly, because there are no gods or tin gods with who could create the firmaments, universe, outer space, and the earth's worlds, planets, and the lights in the firmament, celestial bodies, because they are only fabulated, invented, and substantialities. Therefore no people of your kind, human beings, can be created from them, as they cannot either copulate with impregnate women of your kind, human women. But whoever teaches differently has maliciously fallen prey to lying and slander, calumny. Truly, it is only people of your kind, human beings, who can raise themselves up in falseness, deviousness, as gods and tin gods, and raise themselves up above other people of your kind, fellow human beings, and copulate with fertilities, impregnate your women, not however the fabulated, invented, and unsubstantial imaginary gods and tin gods, or their fabulated, invented power of the spirit body, spiritual power,